I'd say that the housing challenges I face as a youth in Hamilton would be trying to find a decently priced place that doesn't have bed bugs or fleas or cockroaches.
Housing challenges we have faced would be looking for housing and finding affordable housing.
The Ontario Works only manages us $599 maximum a month, and that would seem like a lot, but rent is a high of cost, and so is being able to keep ourselves fed, clothed, laundered, and everything like that.
Rent is really expensive, and if you don't have a full-time job and you're going to school to get the education so you can have a better job and a better future later on in life, it's definitely a hindrance at that point.
So you only have $100 to buy your school needs, your clothes, and like food. Food is the most expensive thing on our list, regardless, because you sit there and you go like, I want to buy so much food, and then you look at your bills.
We probably viewed over 50 apartments and even had people say to us, no, we don't accept young people, sorry.
They don't rent to youth because they're afraid that they're not going to be able to commit to their payments in enough time.
They would base us on our looks by saying that, well, they're up to no good, they dress them properly. It's not as though we can just obtain such like any piece of clothing we want, so that way we can fit in with normal society and everything like that.
I was 35 weeks pregnant when I found out. We were currently living in housing, and our landlord asked us to leave because I was pregnant.
As a youth trying to find a house, that you're either waiting in line for a program or you're living in a shelter like the Notre Dame house.
To say the least, when it comes to youth and housing, it's a very difficult situation because as youth, we're not looked at as adults, we're looked at as children, and sometimes people assume that we're barbaric.
Just because we're a youth that may be on OW doesn't mean that we're not clean and like hygiene.
For me to get like safe and affordable housing, it took a little bit of time.
I was a little iffy on getting rooms because I felt I was higher up then. But there's really nothing wrong with living in a room. If anything, it's more cost efficient.
We used like housing workers, and we used as much support out there as we could get. And even with that, it's still a challenge.
My guidance counselor actually helped me to overcome some of the challenges in finding housing. When my dad kicked me out in January, I decided that I would be a tough guy and live on the street for about 2 weeks, and then found out that in the middle of winter, that's not the easiest thing to do. Probably not then and not ever.
When I first registered for Ontario Works, from that point, I managed to pick up slowly and start to work things out. And then soon down the line, I managed to find myself a place of employment.
I had lots of help with my housing workers, Jen, Matt, Denise, everybody. They are by far one of the most awesome set of people ever. They always do their best to go above and beyond and help you. They will sit there, like talk to you about what you want to do, where you want to go. They will tell you about your housing rights as your tenants, and they'll sit there and make you laugh even though you're feeling like you're lower than dirt.
I went to my guidance counselor and I asked for help, and she said she had just heard about a program called Wesley Youth Housing.
We are actually moving to a more place, like a better place right now.
We're moving to Good Shepherd Square.
My current housing status, I would have to say, is actually pretty decent. I've been in some rough housing situations before, but I found myself at a lucky break.
It's nice, to say the least. It was nice, small, and comfortable, and it was a lot of fun. I met some people that I never thought I'd meet. I learned a couple things from McMaster students. They were awesome.
My current housing status is actually really good. Although I can only live there for up to 2 years, they teach me life skills, which is something that I didn't learn either with my family or in and out of foster care.
There are a lot of resources out there that are very beneficial to a low-income community, especially youth at that.
Bringing up awareness that these places do exist for people who don't have access to that information.
Probably recommend using as many of these resources as possibly needed.
The more people that are off the streets is better for us, because if they're off the streets, we're not causing trouble, we have our own places to live. We are probably going to be sitting at our homes reading books or doing something that entertains us in our own way. Denise, Matt, and Jen. We appreciate you. You guys do an awesome, excellent job, and I appreciate you guys. Also, we are having a zombie walk, and Jen, you are totally coming with me.